Rafael Nadal has withdrawn from his BNP Paribas Open semi-final with Roger Federer due to a knee injury. Rafael Nadal has withdrawn from his Indian Wells semi-final with Roger Federer after suffering a right knee injury. The Spaniard injured it during his win over Karen Khachanov. As a result, he has also withdrawn from next week's Miami Open. Roger Federer will now play either Dominic Thiem or Milos Raonic in tomorrow's final. More to follow. It will be Roger Federer against Rafael Nadal for the 39th time in the BNP Paribas Open semi-finals, or will it be Roger Federer at BNP Paribas Open? Twitter, by Matthew Merriwolf. During his semi-final yesterday against Karen Khachanov, Rafa aggravated the knee tendinitis that has plagued his hard-court tennis in recent years. He was still able to finish off the dangerous Russian, but even Nadal himself admits he won't know how his knee will be for this match until he wakes up today. It's entirely possible he may retire from yet another hard-court tournament. Assuming he is able to play, we're in for a rekindling of tennis' most historic rivalry. The other men's semi-final will feature two men who have advanced to finals at both Grand Slam and Masters 1000 events, but are yet to win one. Rafael Nadal, 2, versus Roger Federer, 4. Rafael Nadal, at BNP Paribas Open, Twitter. This will be their first match since the Shanghai Masters in October of 2018, nearly a year and a half ago. Nadal holds an overall 23-15 edge in their head-to-head, but he hasn't defeated Federer in over 5 years, by far the longest stretch in this rivalry without a Rafa victory since they first met 15 years ago this month. Roger has won all of their 5 most recent meetings, all of which have been played on hard courts. That run started at the 2015 Basel event. It famously continued in the 2017 Australian Open final, which is really the match that turned this rivalry around. Federer came back from down a break in the 5th to beat his toughest opponent. The bigger racket face he changed to during an injury layoff in 2016 played a significant role. Roger went on to beat Rafa at this tournament 2 years ago, and then again 2 weeks later in the Miami final. Their last 3 matches have all been straight-set wins for Federer, ever since that Australian Open final. Both men have advanced to this semi-final without dropping a set, with Federer only losing his serve once in 4 matches. Roger has looked exceptionally sharp, and is on a 9-match win streak coming off his 100th career title in Dubai 2 weeks ago. Considering their recent history, the court surface, and Nadal's knee, Federer is the favorite to reach his 9th Indian Wells final. Dominic Thiem, 7, versus Milos Raonic, 13. Dominic Thiem, at Onavansa, Twitter. Both of these men should be fully rested ahead of this semi-final. Unlike Nadal and Federer, they got a day off between their quarterfinal and semi-final matches. And Thiem got Thursday off as well when Gael Monfils withdrew from their quarterfinal. Dominic didn't lose a set in his other 3 matches at this tournament, while Milos only dropped 1 in 4 matches. Raonic is yet to face a seeded player at this event, but he's 2-0 lifetime against Thiem. Both of those matches were on hard courts, and Milos took both in straight sets. Thiem, though, is a much improved hard court player since they last met in 2016, and he'll prefer the slower hard court in Indian Wells. However, Raonic has achieved much more previous success in the desert than Thiem. This is the first Indian Wells semi-final for Dominic, while Milos has advanced this far in all of his last 4 appearances. I like the big serving Canadian's chances to reach his 2nd final in tennis paradise. Other notable matches on day 13, Marcelo Melo and Łukasz Kubot, at Spaniard, Twitter. In the women's doubles final, the best team in the world, Barbara Krejcikova and Katerina Siniakova, 1, versus 2 top 15 singles players, Elise Mertens and Aryna Sabalenka. In the men's doubles final, an established team of Łukasz Kubot and Marcelo Melo, 6, versus a newly formed team of Nikola Mektic and Horacio Zeballos. Brazil's Marcelo Melo and Poland's Łukasz Kubot secured their spot in the final of the doubles tournament of the BNP Paribas Open in Indian Wells after beating singles world number 1 player Novak Djokovic and Fabio Fognini 7-6, 7-5, 2-6, 1-0, 6 in the super tie-break. Melo and Kubot will face Horacio Zeballos and Nikola Mektic, who beat Oliver Morak and made Pavic 7-6, 7-3, 7-6, 7-3. Melo and Kubot have played together since 2017, while Zeballos and Mektic are teaming up for their second time in their careers. The first set, Kubot and Melo earned an immediate break in the first game. Djokovic and Fognini broke back in the 10th game at 15 to draw level to 5-5. Kubot and Melo came back from 1-4 down to win the tie-break 7-5. Djokovic and Fognini broke twice in the first and fifth games to clinch the second set 6-2. Kubot and Melo took the 10-6 edge in the super tie-break. Djokovic and Fognini thrilled the crowd with their spectacular tennis, but doubles specialists won the most crucial points. I think the fact we played together for a long time, this makes a difference. We were aggressive in important moments. We do what we have to do, and most of the time for us, it pays off. I am very happy with this, so let's go forward for tomorrow to the finals, said Melo. Angelique Kerber has praised her aggressive side to her game as she reaches the BNP Paribas Open final at Indian Wells for the first time in her career. Angelique Kerber, at BNP Paribas Open, Twitter. Angelique Kerber has praised the aggressive side to her game as she defeated Belinda Bencic to reach the Indian Wells final. It was a fine evening's work for the German, who reached the Indian Wells final with a 6-4, 6-2 win over Belinda Bencic. The Swiss was on a 12-match winning streak, having beaten 6 top 10 players, before Kerber neutralized her game in an impressive display. After the match, Kerber praised her aggressive tennis, which won her the match. I was finding my rhythm a little bit, especially in the first few games, Kerber said in her press conference. And then I start to stepping in a little bit and playing really aggressive. I think that was the key, that I really took the match in my hand, and I was going for it. That was also the game plan, to really playing my tennis again. You know, I was really trying to focusing on my tennis. So I was not looking too much on the other side on the court. I was really trying to stay concentrate from the first point. It hasn't been the greatest starts to a season for Kerber, who had her confidence knocked by a hammering loss to Danielle Collins at the Australian Open. The German admitted that she has learned from those losses and is now starting to play some of her best tennis. Yeah, I mean, I have learned a lot, especially in the last few tournaments after Australia, that I really on the right way to play, that I try to improving my tennis during my practice sessions, Kerber explained. But then when you're going on court, it's always a different style of tennis because the pressure is there on court. That was actually the goal here, to playing every single day the best I can play, yeah, and it worked so far. In the final, the former world number 1 will play 18-year-old Bianca Andreescu, who continued her good run by edging out Alina Svitolina in the last 4. The Canadian has become the first wild card to reach the Indian Wells final, and Kerber is going to enjoy the occasion. She will enjoy the final. Like me, I will also go out there and try to play like I played the last matches, Kerber stated. I know it will be a tough challenge, as well, because she played well. I saw the match today a little bit, and I know that, yeah, she is playing really hard and she is going for it. The final will take place on Kerber, with both women competing in their first Premier mandatory final, with Kerber looking to kickstart her year.